don't know about you, but especially as I continue to get older, I regard truth. I regard experience in something with my own eyes, with my own ears, with my own freaking experience. I regard it incredibly valuable and way up there in regards to being able to tell the truth and say it as it is, and not allow coercion, abuse, bullying, whatever it may be, to gaslight. That's the term I'm going to use to encapsulate everything that I've just spoken about there. I will not allow gaslighting to happen. Why? Because I've got a pet hate. My pet hate in life, again, I don't know about you, is bullies. I can't stand bullying. I just cannot stand it. Why? Because I know so much bullying, coercion, abuse, and gaslighting is done consciously. It's done in a way that is saying to other people or person, F you. I'll do what I like. And one of my tactics is if I know that you won't particularly like it, I'm just going to lie to you and tell you something completely different to what the actual reality is. Gaslighting, ladies and gents. There you go. Small rant in regards to bullying. And this will all start to unwrap and make sense, certainly when I play this next clip to you. I will stamp it with a vile warning for you. But hey, let's just get straight into it, shall we? I do hope she recycled the bag. Right. This is circulating online at the moment, this clip. And there's a bit of misinformation on it because the main clip that's going about says that this was in Glasgow. I actually did a bit of research on this. And actually, this is Wales. In Newport, I believe. But in regards to the actual act itself, yeah, there you go. It's basically a woman who is basically tipping out her rubbish into, what's the river there? The River Usk or something like that, isn't it? Yeah. I don't proclaim to be an expert on the geography. I can't stand geography. But it's a bit of water, and she is basically tipping that into it, right? Now, the reason I began with the mini rant that I did is because the collective narrative, certainly in regards to the belief, in regards to what they would like us to believe, is that things is getting better, right? I normally cross my eyes when I say that. Things is getting better. Yeah, that's generally the narrative, isn't it? Right, things are getting better. Now, I've seen much footage of countries like India, where they are pouring on a daily basis a lot of the rubbish into the water there, or into basically anywhere that will take it. I mean, there was a video that I shared not that long back where a guy just, there was a tourist, and she walks out with a rubbish bag. I think she's staying somewhere like Airbnb or a hotel or something like that. She's like, where do I put the rubbish? She goes up to like these guard-looking guys, and he takes it off her and just basically throws it over the wall. Now, Who do you blame here? Well, lots of people would blame the government. Lots of people would blame the state for not having a solution, a bin collection service. And that, without a doubt, has to be a part and play its part. Of course it does, doesn't it, guys? Yeah. You know, if the state hasn't set up a process in which your rubbish is collected, then maybe this is part of the outcome of that. All right? Okay, we'll accept that. However, there has to be a time where individually and collectively we say to ourselves, if I do that, however you may be brought up, however strong it is that everybody else is doing the same thing, at some point, if there's conscience, even just a spark of it, just that little bit of spark, one day you'd have to say to yourself, hang on a minute, if I keep throwing my rubbish like that in a river or in a bit of water and it does that to it, right, then maybe eventually there's going to be a problem. Maybe eventually something ain't quite right. And, well, I can't see the water anymore. It's literally just piles of, and again, I've seen plenty of footage with that as well. There's piles and piles of rubbish in water that's just floating along. Eventually, there's going to be an issue here. And eventually, you know, we're not going to have anything nice. And everything is literally going to turn into shiza. And we're not going to have any nice environment, any nice water, anything nice at all ever again. There's a bit of a conscience thing, isn't there? And it is up to, and this is where that sort of victimhood and taking responsibility sort of mindset kicks in, right? Unless, even with state responsibility, unless we wake up individually and then in turn, based on a community or collectively or whatever scale that is, unless we do that, unless we have that level of conscience, things will go to shiza. That's how things work. And I'm sure, like me, you don't want to see that. And while we're on this subject, let's talk about swans. Much talk about swans recently, right? Now again, going back to my initial rant, I've personally witnessed a decline in birds, in swans and ducks. I've seen a decline. Like, I used to see them. I like to go out for a walk, as many of you know. I'll go out in nature. A lot of places have got the streams and the rivers and the canals. You know, you expect to see a bit of wildlife, some ducks, some swans. I actually can't remember the last time I saw them. And once again, a little bit like tipping the rubbish into water, right? If there are individuals coming from places, countries, wherever, where what's the price of duck nowadays? Okay, it's not cheap, is it? It's not cheap. So if you're coming from places where there are no laws, no restrictions, and again, we can also add things like morals and standards into this, then who's the crazy one? Is it the person doing it? Or is it the people or person saying, hang on a minute, that shouldn't be being done. No, that's wrong. That's wrong, and it shouldn't be. And then expecting that to be the case. Expecting individuals who have maybe been brought up from birth with a certain mindset. There's countries out there that eat dogs. There's countries out there that eat domestic, or what we class as domestic pets. This isn't a theory. This isn't a conspiracy. It's not a conspiracy that people think that it's acceptable to throw rubbish in water. I'm pleased to say, actually, having done a bit of research on that, I believe that she was investigated or is being investigated still. I think it's a month or two old, that footage. So yeah, I think that is being investigated because, again, that's in regards to morals and standards, that based in regards to our expectations, what we expect. We expect things like that to be investigated because we don't want it. We don't want rubbish being thrown in water. We don't want swans and ducks being literally taken from the habitat, from the wildlife. Right? Again, I'll just quickly go back to my initial point in regards to the importance of, being able to view something, being able to hear something, and then, being able to communicate that, without labels or without, or feeling like you can't, which, you and I both know that it's feeling like that more and more. Like, you can talk about certain things, you can't talk about other things. But the worse that gets, which again is that collective and individual responsibility that I'm talking about, that either gets better or worse with individuals. And that's our choice. What do you think? Ta-ta.